Watson don't get naked for nobody. Don't get naked for nobody. You understand? Y'all think getting naked. You know what I'm saying? Y'all need to be washing some tables.
You was washing tables.
You was waiting. And I've been waiting. Hold on, man. I know y'all been waiting for this. Fragrance of the evening. Mahogany Woods. Sometimes I kind of regret not buying that cologne. I didn't like the smell that much, but I was thinking like maybe, well, my nostrils ain't working that well today, so. But it was like on sale. I really could have bought it, but I didn't buy it anyway. But that's the moisturizer of the evening. You understand? Staying moisturized around here. And then we got the cologne of the evening. I ain't done this in a little bit. You know what I'm saying? You know, I'm the king of affordable colognes, my boy. The king, you understand? Got that graphite, all right? Bath and Body Works. I'm gonna go ahead and spray that joint. You know what I've been playing with? Pause. I've been like spraying my jacket with a different cologne that's like a similar scent, so that somebody get close to you. It's a whole experience. But anywho, so yeah. So that's the kind of content she makes. What we're gonna get into is this first video about basically how she got with her current husband, who is very very successful, or at least that's a story that she's selling to us. Okay, because again, you got to realize this is becoming big business. Like Queen of Kings, the reason why the Queen of Kings story was a story was because she's telling everyone that this guy is successful and he's just a regular dude, and if anything, like he works somewhere where they make food. She was online saying, if you bought that food home again, I'm calling the cops because you stole that stuff. Anywho, so the main takeaway from this video you're going to see is that she's selling women the idea of, for one, a lot of women are kind of getting obsessed with the idea of monetizing their looks, right? And I don't know, bro. I don't know. Listen, a business is a business is a business. Even women who do it professionally still have slow weeks and have a hard time, and sometimes they got to run specials. Okay, it's actually not to get someone to actually pay a certain dollar amount. It's actually pretty tough. But it's interesting how when things are packaged a certain way. Again, like OnlyFriends does not sound the same as Prawn, right? It doesn't sound the same. It doesn't have the same connotation. Of course, now OnlyFans is only associated with Prawn, but it sounds totally different. And then you always make the argument of I could be on there cooking. Like, all right, it's weird. You're making meals on OnlyFans, freak bull. But anywho, so anyway, so I want to get into the whole moral breakdown and why this kind of content became popular. But I want to go ahead and get into this video. So what she's going to kind of get into is basically how I want to say she scammed her way into a relationship, but she says a lot of things without actually saying them. So for example. Actually, you know what? I'm let it play, and here we go.
I think that my self-esteem was definitely low. I didn't know that at the time, but if I think back about the kind of men that I was choosing, it definitely was a reflection of my lower self-esteem. 16 years old. I intentionally got pregnant with my.
So. She's talking about when she was a teen mother, right? And she got pregnant on purpose by the guy that she was dating, right? And again, for young men out there, I'm not, I'm not saying that you can't turn your life around, but for the most part, girls will become, women only really become teen parents in this era when their parents have failed. All right, because it just shouldn't be a good idea to you at that age to have kids without any kind of foundation. But also, it speaks to that person's tolerance for risk. All right. What the kind of relationships that she even talks about is the kind of relationships that a lot of women want to kind of get into, which is a relationship where he's somewhere between like a sugar baby, a sugar daddy, and a trick in a way. You know what I'm saying? At least the way it's sold online, or for them, that would be the best case scenario. Preferably a trick that doesn't want anything in return. All right, and and I'm saying, and again, and it's also a part again of that baddie syndrome. All the women that's watching this content got baddie syndrome. Another part of baddie syndrome is I would say that it's all relative to the narc mindset, because it speaks to a mindset where you can't be wrong. There's never anything for you to learn. There's never anything for you to change. You know what I mean? And you always have made the correct decision. So therefore, when they listen to her story, because again, you got to realize a lot of women watching this is going to be black women, and a lot of black women, a lot of single mothers. You know what I mean? In the community, right? So it's a lot of single mothers in the community. So we got to realize again, women watch a lot of reality TV shows. Shout out to AC. They watch a lot of reality TV. So that's why someone can easily come online and they're not able to tell when they're lying. You know what I'm saying? Like the whole Yada Awakening thing. Yo, that's not how people talk. People don't talk like that, brother. Sir, you are 31. No 31-year-old says brother that much. You're trying to sound righteous rather than being righteous. Oh, it's weird. But it's clear that, when women watch these kind of people, they're not really listening to them, right? So I'm going to jump around this video a little bit. I'm going to let her talk a little bit, but I'm going to jump around a little bit, all right?
My boyfriend at the time, and basically turned into a child raising a child. A few years later, had my second child. So after having 2 children and being a single mom, I think that my self-esteem was definitely low. I didn't know that at the time, but if I think back, and I learned quickly that just because someone looks like they have it together does not mean that they have it together. And
what's crazy is somebody wrote in the comment section basically the moral of the story, because we're going to get into like where she's at now, and the situation she's in, if it's true, is really egregious, and these are some very serious allegations that she's making against this guy. And we're going to also get into what the story may really be about and why no one can jump out there and give sympathy yet. But again, this content is about selling you a dream that you don't have to do anything to have a good life. You can just be you. And all you gotta do is assume this attitude. Never talk about the internal work. Never talk about the lifelong commitment and the willingness to make a lifelong commitment. And it's becoming clearer and clearer that these the kind of people who want to watch this kind of content, they don't give a F about them kids. They don't care about their kids. They got kids, but they don't care about them kids. They're not trying to leave them kids nothing. Because you can't have nothing for the babies if ain't no family intact. And if you don't stay together. And understand the importance of staying together. Kind of people who watch this content, you want the easy way out. You want the solution that doesn't require you putting no kind of pain in. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. You know what I mean? So
Typically the things that that person is probably doing to get money is not sustainable and probably not something that you would want to be involved in. And after learning quickly that everything that glitters is not gold, I happened to come across Shira 7 on YouTube, and she completely changed my life.
So Shira 7 is basically somebody who really blew up over the pandemic, and what she does, like she really creates like this fantasy content. Matter of fact, let's pull up some Shira 7 so we can get a oh man, hold on, let's pull up some Shira. Let's see.
If a man that really likes you, if they really want you, they will make a way. They will make a way to have the woman of their dreams or the woman they want in their life. And why else? Why would you want to be with anyone else who won't treat you that way? If a man that really likes you, if they really want you, they will make a way. They will make a way.
If they set that android free,
Let's see, we can get some shorts real quick. The best oh, here we go.
You girls, stop. He don't. In countries, it screams ratchet. That's it. I lied and cheated in school and my jobs, and that's how I got ahead. Exactly. You know how they try to trick you. They say, oh, cheaters never win, and losers never prosper. And cheaters never prosper, and don't lie, and karma. Everyone who is anyone that has something is a liar, a manipulator, a cheater, or whatever you want to call them. Okay? All the timid people who don't have much, they're the ones that are so honest and so humble and so this and so that. So that's why they are in the position that they're in, because they can't make it in this real world, okay, by telling the truth all the time. I'm not bringing nothing to the table.
All right, so that's Shira 7. When you listen to this shit, it sounds demonic. The more righteous you are, it sounds demonic because she's basically creating chaos. She's speaking like these are negative things. She basically just said, well, people lie and cheat and steal and they're okay. So you should basically, so you're saying you should do it too. Again, when you understand karma and you care about your family, the more bad decisions you make, the more it affects your family. It don't just affect you. That's why censoring the family is the most important thing. I'm gonna let her keep cooking, but I want y'all to kind of get a feel for like what she do. So this one right here is my favorite. Let's go, Shira.
If you want a woman to bring something to the table, go to IHOP. Go to the restaurant where you can tip her, baby. Sprinkle. Because if I bring something to the table, you're gonna be mad because it's gonna be another man who's gonna not ask me to bring something to the table. He's gonna take care of the bill, them kids, and everybody else, and you if you look broke. And this.
So, like, so she do shit like that. So now again, if you're looking to be entertained, shout out to Shorty, right? But if you're actually looking to have a good relationship where y'all are both happy, where both y'all needs is met, and y'all building a future together that's mutually beneficial. People who watch that content are not thinking about that. And I realized that this content has become so big because that's how much that our women are not thinking about that. They don't care about what makes a relationship a relationship. Even that last clip, and I love playing that clip because it really encompasses the length of the advice from these people. She said basically what you do if a man asks you what you bring to the table is you get another man, you're gonna bring him to. So you saying you're gonna bring him to dinner? So he's gonna show up to dinner and he's gonna pay for your dinner, and then he's gonna pay and you know in a lot of this stuff. It's really for single mothers because if you realize most of the chicks who be selling y'all this shit, they always got kids. A lot of times they have a single mother story. The Queen of Kings girl, she had a couple of kids, with a black guy, and here they are, and now you got this one right here. It's usually they usually be them been around before. What be happening? And I'm realizing like what this content is like is like fantasy. It's like entertainment for single mothers. You know what I mean? Because again, this stuff becomes relevant. Because again, I'm like, damn, you know what else it is too? Everything Shira talks about, they're all intimidation tactics and like trickery. It's like none of it is about actually like helping to be like a better woman and a better mother. You know what I'm saying? And a better wife. Like none of it talks about that. All of it is basically about listen, fuck him. You understand? Fuck him. Straight like that. You know what I mean? Like that's the sum of all her advice. Like none of it is positive. Like, like you can't say that if your son, when your son gets older, he finds out that this is what you was watching and this is what you used to do to his father. He wouldn't say, "Oh my God," that wouldn't be positive. Anywho, so let's go ahead and get into the story, man. So I wanted to share that with y'all so that y'all got you to understand who Sheriff 7 is. Now, this is someone who actually really followed. She's saying she really followed and took her advice to heart. And she feels as though like she is really making it work for her. Or she's making this is her, at the beginning of her content creator journey, or at least one of the older videos that went viral. And this is her, this is explaining how she became a single mom to a spoiled housewife,
And she basically taught me what a high value man is and what to look for when trying to find a husband. So I ended up taking my sister's advice and signing up for eHarmony. Yeah, she recommended Match, but in my spirit, I felt eHarmony. I don't know why. It's just something told me to do that one. So I ended up signing up for eHarmony. I created a profile, and I think the second person that I matched with was the man that I'm married to now, my husband, my wife. And it was very different. We were living together.
So this is a crucial part of the story. So this is how they became pretty much husband and wife. And she's going to talk about basically how she's going to casually talk about basically dumping her current boyfriend for this guy because within a span of a couple of days, she's going to move in with this guy. Okay. But she's not going to end, but she also did it because she didn't have nowhere else to go. Because she never talks about what in the beginning of the video, she talks about how much money she was making. Never really got into what she was doing to get that bag. I mean, I assume she was a car salesman. I assume that maybe she does construction. How about that? She does consulting for one of the big firms out there in the West. Something like that. She does consulting at Boeing jets. Boeing.
I always respected your hairline.
All right. So, where's she at?
And I just packed all my stuff and left. And it was crazy because the next day, my now husband, reached out to me and was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" And I told him, I just got out of a relationship, and I kind of told him a little bit about why. And he was telling me like, oh, those are my boys, and he had genuinely really connected with my kids, and he was not the kind of man that was just be nice to them to get to me. Like, it was very genuine.
So this is now if what we're gonna get into is true, this is a part of the fantasy. She knows who's watching. Because what she's also trying to promote is this idea, this how basically how women really feel as though men are interchangeable, and you can just swap them out. You can just swap them out and get another one like a car. Like women really they think that you're the car, right? Where like damn, like you can say, oh yeah, I used to have that Jeep. I don't have it no more. Yeah, it's been like 6 months, but yeah, but now I got a Honda. You know what I'm saying? Like they think it's going to be like that. Like, oh well, I'll get a new car at some point, and it's like, nah, it's not how that goes. Like the dating scene is full of ghosts. Like y'all are dead out here. Majority of y'all, sorry. It's not, you know what it is? It's not that older women can't date. One of the main reasons why I can't date, aside from not taking care of yourself, is you haven't developed relationship skills. You're a selfish person. If you've done really bad, and not only that, you don't realize you're bad in relationships. Like you don't know what it takes. You know what I can't stand to hear is when people when like women who are like basically single mothers with kids and whatnot and ain't got nobody talk shit about their mother or their grandmother and talk about them like they stupid for sacrificing to make sure that y'all had a mother, a loving mother at home. But listen, young people need a loving mother at home. Super important. Right? I'm like, damn, you can't even see that. But not only that, you suck at relationships. Like look at where you at. You know what I'm saying? Like for real, like you'll never hit on man shit on his father for keeping his job all these years. Like, yeah, my pops was a sucker. He went and had life insurance and health insurance, and we lived in a house. He was a sucker out there working for the man. You never hear a man say that. Anywho, so back to these dreams I'll be buying into. So she's going to talk about basically again how she swapped the nigga out.
And that was
another thing too. Women, they think it's a flex to do a successful swap out. Swap them out. She just swapped him, nigga.
Things that I really loved about him. That was something that stood out about him versus the other men that I had dated, was he really embraced the fact that I had children because he wanted children. And so, he was talking
that is one of the most like woman things, like, and that's one of the things that like really shows how much like women don't understand men or don't know anything about men, to the point where it's not so much that you can't get a man to have a good relationship with your kids, but it needs to be a thing that you help facilitate and you help to create a positive relationship between them. You know what I mean? An appropriate relationship between them, and facilitate that, right? But what she's talking about is just the instant they just basically just like just come in and just replace the father. They really think that that another man can replace his name. No, you can't replace someone's father. That's not even how we made. We're not really made to listen to men who are not our fathers. That's all human beings. That's really tough. So like to respect someone, like, unless you've known them since he was very, very young, that's tough. But anywho, we're gonna switch off in a second. I want to show you some more of her content.
Lease was going to be ending very soon, which is why I went ahead and moved in with my person that had became my ex. We started living together, and I told my husband, I was like, hey, it was so embarrassing to admit, but I was like, I need a place to stay because
So what she's describing is not someone who makes a lot of money. That's not what she's describing. All of these is broke chick tactics. Most of the time when young women want to have kids at an early age and whatnot, you know what I mean, and they want to have kids at an early age, a lot of times they also don't finish developing. A lot of times they spend more time still thinking like a younger woman. And actually they also a lot of times suffer arrested development, but a lot of times they also like their sliders for like depression and anxiety are always up. That's how they wind up in this, because it doesn't happen all the time, right? Most people don't wind up pregnant in 16. It's just not a thing. Like my mom was a teen mom. That wasn't that it happened, but it wasn't like, you know, there's one in every family. You know what I mean? Like, nah, like, you know, most people, they had kids around that time, but 15, 16, like real young like that, like, or in high school, yo, nah. Not because ain't ain't supposed to happen. Even as a kid, you know you're not supposed to be getting pregnant and having kids. You know what I mean? But anywho, so I wanna play some more of her content and whatnot. So this is the whole story about how she got with this man and everything was perfect. No problems, no arguments, no grief. But
I want to talk about what makes a man want to be in a relationship. The number one thing is going slow. If you go on your first date and it goes well, he wants to see you tomorrow, wait until at least 4 days to see him again. Don't see him the next day. Move slow when it comes to getting in a relationship. If he asks you to be his woman, tell him you aren't ready. Men love a woman who doesn't easily commit. The biggest one, don't have sex too soon. What's easily gotten isn't worth much. The slower you are to give yourself to him, the quicker he'll put a ring on it. I wanted to.
So, don't get me wrong. I think she's perfect for this kind of content, and I do think that she genuinely. That's not really a bad video. So she kind of gets a little bit into this. Was also that this is basically that dark femininity shit, where you use the things that's supposed to benefit this man. If y'all together, you talk about using it against him and leveraging it against him. So in so many words, you want to be in a relationship, but you don't. You call it a relationship, but you actually want to have full control over this person, or you don't believe or don't feel as though this person should have benefit. So I always come back to that word benefit. You don't want the other person to benefit. Like you don't want the man to really benefit from having you in his life. So I'm gonna play a few other clips from her so you guys can get a feel for what she do, right? Then we're gonna close out the story.
All day, hours on the phone with him, then it doesn't give the impression that you have other suitors, that you have other important things going on in your life. And nobody wants somebody that is only focused on them and has absolutely nothing else going on. It doesn't make you appear high value. It doesn't make you appear highly sought after. And he's not going to work as hard for you when you're giving him too much too soon. So in the
You know what's funny about this content is this kind of content is really about, it's so much about overcomplicating men and making men seem, that's the best way I can put it, is overcomplicating men. First of all, if a guy likes you, I mean, like, you know what it is? She doesn't really get men. She's so attractive that she doesn't really necessarily need to get men a whole bunch, or maybe she does. I don't know. And but listen, whenever these content creators are able to cut through to a point where people know who they are and whatnot, right? it's not by mistake. Like, yo, she designed this good. Her content is good, at least the presentation. And this is a really attractive woman. Like, this is what an attractive woman is supposed to look like, right? And again, like unlike Shira 7, she's actually fine. Like Shira 7 doesn't even look like she used to be fine. Shira 7 is like a regular, like a regular person. But you got to realize that she's proof that women really love to hear the stuff they love to hear. Shira 7 doesn't even look like if she ever even experienced any of that stuff. But it sounds so good because it's that shit sound like battle rap bars to them. They hear Shira 7 like, ooh, I'm bringing shit to the table. It's wild. But all right, hold on. What?
The beginning, when you guys are just getting to know each other, before he started investing, and you don't really know him that well, 5 to 10 minute conversations on the phone.
Formulas, numbers. You cannot get to know someone doing shit like that. You understand? That's not how you get to know people. It's by breaking shit down into numbers. 5 to 10 minute conversations. Who the fuck talks for 5 to 10 minutes? You know what I'm saying? Like, or you know, this exact number of days before we can meet again. All this shit is like a spell. And what it's all about is you being a coward. You cannot be in relationships and be that afraid to get hurt. In order to be in a fight, you might get punched in the face. You know what I'm saying? But you might win. Life can be a struggle. Things are going to be difficult, but that's a part of life. All this shit sounds good to someone who don't want to put no work in. She's basically, again, like, y'all think this shit is a game to the point where you'll believe someone giving you a cheat code. But what you basically hear this shit is like, they hear it as if someone's giving them like cheat codes to a game. So I'm gonna play one more clip. I think this is it right here.
Changed my life. And I would not be where I am today with.
I'm gonna be honest, bro. What do you want from me? I'm an old game. I'm gonna be honest, bro. What do you want from me?
Come on, y'all. No,
I want to talk about what makes a man want to.
All right, hold on, y'all.
I want to talk about what makes a man want to be in a relationship. I want to talk about what makes a man want to be in a relationship. The number one thing is going slow. If you go on your first date and it goes well, he wants to.
Oh, yeah, right. It's right here.
Her teachings changed my life. And I would not be where I am today without her teachings. Her teaching.
Like, she is literally the girl from the like Kanye's workout plan. Like, remember in the Kanye workout plan, you had like women giving testimonies and whatnot. What she's basically saying is, I was able to make a lot of bad decisions and take a lot of L's, but I still basically had a perfect ending. And don't get me wrong, everyone can have a happy ending. Pause. But you're gonna have to put some work in and make the right decisions for the right reasons. and also not keeping it real. Like Shorty ain't keeping it real at all. All right, you're leaving mad parts out. Anyway, I wanted to play her saying how Shera 7 changed her life, because this is where she is right now, and this is the video that she put out yesterday, and it's called "I Married a Monster." So tells a story about what's been going on in their life and whatnot. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to over here.
I could get past.
So on the screen it says he R'd me 4 times in the first few months of our marriage.
It's like sad to even say like I could get past some of these things. I don't even know where to start. 6 weeks ago, I was changing my daughter, my 4-year-old daughter, and I noticed that.
So I'm gonna stop her right there. I don't think we need to really kind of get into all that. So she talks about how that same guy that she's talking about that she moved in with, that she married. So in the previous video, she talks about how she married him within a week. And I'm not saying things really wrong with that necessarily. That y'all two grown folks agree to it, whatever. I wouldn't do it. It's not. I don't think that's how shit works. But anywho, she gets into the story about basically how she found out that her child was getting touched by guy she's married to. Now she said she noticed while she was changing the child and whatnot, and she said that she asked, and the child said it was daddy. But I'm like, well, the child had to be about 3. I'm like, damn, like, how old is this child? And I don't know. It's just like some parts of the story is just like I don't know. And also it's also like this is some serious stuff. So we're gonna take. So just taking her at her word. This sprinkle stuff is dangerous because there's nothing spiritual about the choice. There's no real connection. There's no like where's the hard work? Like we gotta stop buying into this bullshit of making bad decisions and not learning from those decisions and becoming a better person because of it. I had one child. I saw a homegirl of mine I used to work with back in the day, man. She had 2 babies. And she asked me about, my son naturally. And she had like this surprised look. And she said, "Oh, so you stayed at one job? Like, you only got one kid?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And I guess that might be all I get. You know what I mean? It's all good. It's what it is. I mean, I would like to have more just to pass on this more this information, man. You know what I mean? And I think those of us who are productive, hard working and whatnot, like we have to reproduce and understanding the importance of reproducing. The Black folks, for the most part, we don't think about none of that shit. We don't think about having numbers or how to have numbers. I'm like, yeah, like having big families matter because again, it adds to the numbers. I'm like, damn, we've been here for hundreds of years, still a minority. So later in the video, she tells I think I had one more time stamp. Because I mean, you can watch it for yourself. You don't really need to,
Things that we would need and things like that. So going home.
So she talks about basically after she confirmed that the abuse had happened, that she basically was trying to find a way to get all the kids out the house.
Halloween shopping was the best thing I could think of to just hurry up and get the kids out of the house. I'm sorry, I had to get myself together. So when I got to the hospital, they basically told me that we had to go to another hospital because they didn't do physical exams, like that kind of physical exam there. The police.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and stop that right there. That's these are some very serious claims. I guess Duke have his day in court, and they're gonna figure all that stuff out. But the moral, that the story is about is understanding like what's good and what's bad. I've read in the comment section people's commenting on vetting, but again, the issues is when you get with someone, and shout out to Crimson Cure, is seeing we got values in line. That's why having values matter. Because when you see what the values in line, it makes it clear. Do we fit together? Is this a good fit? And nothing that Shira 7 talks about is about values and morals. None of that stuff is positive. And to a certain degree, I really feel like people are what the people that they deserve to be with. Or you come around the people that you align with, that you match up with. And usually when y'all break up, it's because you guys no longer align. Right? Oh shit. This incense burning. All right, man. So speaking of knowing what's good for you, man. So I wanted to so there was a squabble on a Fresh and Fit show, and it wound up being a fight. And Myron called someone the N-word. It was crazy. So we're gonna play some of that. This right here is a L for the Keisha.
I declare not to do that. So it's gonna be just like you and your